And today is the day that he has been waiting for years. White boy Rick Wershey will learn whether or not he'll become a free man today after spending nearly 30 years behind bars for a nonviolent drug offense. Local 4 defender Kevin Dietz is live for us this morning. And Kevin, it all comes down to this. Walk us through what's expected to happen today.
Yeah, so Rick Wershey has been in prison for 29 years and 7 months. He is the longest serving nonviolent juvenile offender in the history of Michigan. At the age of 14 years old in the 8th grade, Wershey was hired by the FBI to be a drug informant in his East Side neighborhood. But at age 16, he started selling drugs, and at 17, he was busted and sentenced to life in prison. He's been there, as you said, almost 30 years now. So today, a 10-member parole board is going to take a vote. They are up in Lansing today, and that's where the vote will take place. Wershey needs 6 yes votes in order to be paroled. And Wershey, he's up at Oaks Correctional Facility in Manistee, Michigan, up north. He will not be at that meeting, but he will be notified immediately once that vote comes in. It's expected to come in sometime around noon today. We are going to be watching that decision come in with Rick Wershey's mom and with his sister, and we're going to have their immediate reaction as that vote comes in.
I know that you've been talking to him throughout the years as he's been trying to get released from prison. What does he hope to do first?
Yeah, if he gets out, he wants to go and visit his grandma and grandpa's grave. They died while he was in prison. He was not allowed to go to the funeral, and he says that's the first thing he wants to do when he gets out. He has kids and grandkids that he wants to reconnect with on the outside. Of course, he would not be released today if that vote is a yes vote. The Department of Corrections takes 30 to 90 days to make sure that you have a safe place to live and that you have work before they release you. And then, as we reported, he has that problem in Florida. He was convicted from behind bars in a car theft ring 10 years ago, and he owes the state of Florida 22 months in prison for that crime. His attorney is going to argue or ask the state of Florida to forgive that. His attorney says he's confident that he can do that. If he is successful, then Wershey would be a free man. He would walk out of a Michigan prison and be free sometime in the next 30 to 90 days.
And Kevin, back in 2003, about 14 years ago, it didn't go in his favor. What are the odds that the board will vote in his favor this time around?
It's definitely different. This time around, former President Obama asked everybody in the country to relook at juvenile sentences. Even for murderers, they wanted to look at those and have those resentenced. This is a nonviolent drug offender. There's a very good chance that the parole board will vote in his favor. At his hearing last month, there was no opposition. The prosecutors, police, the U.S. attorneys, nobody came forward and said they still think Rick Wershey needs to be in prison. That's much different than 14 years ago. At that time, they said he was dangerous and they did not want him to be released.
Well, everyone is waiting to hear what the outcome of this will be. So, of course, we'll be having it here on Local 4 once that decision is made. Local 4 defender Kevin Dietz following this story from the very beginning. Kevin, thank you.